How would we kick off a project?
Yeah, I think this is another area where we've been pretty poor in the last few years in terms of explaining how we operate. The job number one is for us to get to know the business and to get to know the founders and get to know the team intimately. So we tend to run an 8 to 12 week process, sometimes quicker, but an 8 to 12 week process. The first 4 weeks of which will be what we call discovery. And that is really getting under the bonnet of the organization, really unpacking everything, unpacking the product, unpacking the technology, understanding customers, use cases, pain, the marketing structure, the sales team, the go-to-market planning, everything about that business, what's good, what's not, what's broken, what isn't. You know, it's what I call putting the parts of the motorbike on the floor of the garage and, you know, where are we at, and let's put this thing back together. But in that 4 weeks, we will pick up on a whole lot of things that the founders know they aren't strong on and want to work on. And actually 2 or 3 things that we've spotted that perhaps they weren't aware of that they need to work on to get better. And at the end of that 4 week period, we'll create a kind of playbook, a kind of, these are the areas we think you need to work on. Yeah. You know, it's not us doing it because we're not operators, but these are the jobs to be done. This needs to be done, that needs to be done. We'll assign owners and timelines and project plans, either us or people within the organization, to make sure those things are done. And the sort of second section of the work that we do is creating the playbook, playing the playbook back, and then watching the playbook watching things get fixed.
Yeah.
And at the end of that typical first period, and this is for organizations that say, help me raise money, stack the odds in my favor of making me money. Yeah. The end of that period, we're now ready to take them out to the investors.
Yeah, and I think the money bit is, you know, because the environment's changed so much, I think we're hearing more, help me become master of my own destiny. Yeah. And that can be capital. Yeah. But it also could be getting to that point where you can breathe again.
Yes.
That your outgoings are no more than your incomings.
Yes.
And often you can finance that. Yeah. You know, you will find types of investors who are happy to fund to cash flow break even. Yeah. And at that point, that might feel unnatural. Yeah. Because we've lived in a very strange bubble. Yeah. And the bubble's now burst. But imagine a world where your baby is free, it's not at risk anymore, and you can make it the best thing you possibly can. Yeah. And people are much more inclined to invest in businesses that can see break even. Yeah. So I think...
And that's a big change from the past, isn't it? Whereas in the past people said, oh, I want to raise 5 million quid. Well, why? So I can breathe. Well, you know, that's no longer really the case. You can't get cash to breathe now. No. You know, it'd be much better to actually maybe take less money, take half a million, get your business to a cash flow break-even place, and hold on to your cap table, and then go to a place where you can do the big raise from a much stronger point.
Yeah, and I think the playbook, as you say, you said it's difficult, or we haven't been very good at explaining what we do, but I think that's because it varies.
It does.
It does. So some people, the playbook will be about raising capital. Another, it'll be a growth, an acceleration plan. Yeah. Another, it might be an exit.
Yes.
So, you know, I think that discovery piece is the important bit to say, okay, really, guys, what is it you want? Yeah. What's priority number one, and we'll focus on that.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting actually about that help me raise piece is that whatever you get right for your deck and your investor proposition is absolutely mirrored to the market. Because, you know, the work that we do in getting the story right for investors is exactly the same sort of work you need to do to get the story right to your customers.
Exactly that.
That clarity of thinking, that clarity of pain.
Yeah.